I think I have a lot of experience with being alone. I was born an only child, and throughout my life, we've had to move several times, resulting in me losing a lot of friends that I had from my past schools. A lot of time that I spent at home was alone by myself because technology just wasn't something that was given to me early on in life. The first device I got was a phone when I was 12 in 2019. My parents also spent a lot of the time where I was in at a very young age doing research for their theses. So I was kind of left on my own to my own devices. And thus, I suppose I learned some of the most important lessons about the importance of time alone at a very young age. I am of the belief that every human should be alone for at least 20% of their lives, excluding sleep and whatever other things. This alone time gives you time to live within your thoughts for a bit, and this is incredibly important because when you are alone and you are thinking with yourself, you get to some of the deepest places in your brain, some of the most important moments in your life, and some of the most important lessons that you've learned. They come through your head while you're thinking alone. And these lessons, well, they might show up at some of the most important times in your life. I feel like I'm saying important way too much, but it's true. I used to read a lot of books in my alone time, and through these books, I was able to live in several different universes, and it widened my imagination to unimaginable levels. Now I can very easily imagine images, and that's very much thanks to the time that I spent alone. And I think a lot of you out there can relate to this. And using this power, I'm able to have a different way of reasoning with myself, and making the correct decisions is a lot easier as well. It feels like there are almost two people inside of you who are constantly talking with each other about how to make the right decisions and how to live the right life. And I think this is probably one of the best perks about being alone, is that you develop this. You would never get this from anywhere else. If you are with friends, you are always just going to be talking. You're not going to be thinking. You would just be yourself, and there will only be one of you. And I think that it is way better to be accompanied in your brain and alone elsewhere than be accompanied everywhere but in your thoughts. So I really think and I really advocate for the fact that it is okay and maybe even necessary to be alone. And that loneliness brings you power, not weakness. When somebody tries to berate you for having few friends or not getting out enough, that's not actually always a negative thing. Obviously, if you're alone all day and you stay at home 24/7, that is probably not the right course of action. But it is important to have some time to yourself and to discover who you really are on the inside. And this time is for you to do exactly that. You can find out who you are, what you like, what you want to do, and how you're going to get to your dreams. It all comes from all of this alone time and this time in your head spent thinking hours upon hours, all of those nights awake in bed. It leads up to a more full version of you.